Welcome back, artists and art teachers. Today we are going to learn how to do a pen and ink drawing of a hamburger. So we're going to begin with some light guide marks. We're starting with an X grid. And I'm going to begin by mapping out the biggest shapes first. It's really tempting to get caught up in the details and look at the smaller shapes, but you want to keep reminding yourself to draw the bigger shapes and check your proportions before you add any of those details. So I'm keeping my pencil lines nice and light, and I'm mapping out the larger shapes before I start tackling some of those smaller shapes inside the burger, like the lettuce and the meat patties. So I'm making sure I am double checking everything. I'm looking very close at my reference, and I'm making sure I draw super light because chances are I'm going to make mistakes. And mistakes are good. You want to make sure you catch those mistakes before you let yourself go onto the pen. So working with your pencil really lightly is really helpful. So once you're happy and you've double checked your work, you're going to erase your line marks and you're going to erase the lines of your drawing so you can see them, but they're not super dark. Next, I'm going to take one of my thicker pens and I'm going to test the points to make sure that they are going to work for what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take one of the thicker pens and I'm going to work on the contours and outline the bigger shapes. You don't want to keep your outline all like super consistent. You can use some broken lines, but you want to kind of just get the basic shape in there first. Once you have those larger shapes, the next step is to fill in the smaller shapes and begin defining the textures. So I'm getting some of those bigger shapes with the thicker pen, and then I'm going to use the fine point marker to get some of those shadows and values and mimic some of the textures. So I'm going to make sure I'm following the direction of my form, and I'm also looking closely at the texture of the objects and using hatching and cross-hatching and different line techniques to kind of capture the texture and the direction of the form. So here I'm using kind of curved hatching to show how the bun kind of curves in that area. So I'm constantly looking at the reference image. This project is a lesson I do with my high school art students, and I have the reference images pre-gridded for them and also not pre-gridded. I have a handout that they can refer to so they could see the slideshow. The slideshow shows step-by-step instructions. It has the video demonstration right inside of it, and students get a really good overview before they get started. All of these materials can be found on my website at insideoutartteacher.com or in my Teachers Pay Teacher shop, Inside Out Art Teacher. Once you've defined the larger shapes, the next thing is the details. So I'm alternating with different size tips on my pen. I'm spinning my paper to get a better angle, and I'm using a variety of cross-hatching and hatching techniques to create both the texture and also build up the value. So here I am using a little bit of cross-hatching to create that shadow on the left side of the burger. It's really important to step away once in a while and really take a look and make sure you have everything in the right spot. So now we're going to go ahead and add the background. So your background doesn't have to look exactly like the image. The idea with the background is you want to get your cast shadows in there so that it looks like your burger is sitting on a surface and not just floating in the air, but you don't have to get super detailed and make it look exactly like the reference. So here I am moving the reference image out of my way, and I am just going to add a little bit of texture and use the hatching to help define my edges and make my image stand out. So once you're happy, you want to take a step back, see if there's anything that you missed, maybe push a value a little bit. Here I'm making that shadow on the left side a little bit darker. I'm comparing that shadow to the other shadows in my reference photo, and I'm going to finish up, and I have a great burger drawing.